In this video here, we're going to go over follow-ups. How do we follow up with customers, potential customers, current members, so forth. We want to start follow-ups from the time they call in to the time they renew. This is one thing on one of our other videos. I'm going to go ahead and show it because it's important to know that we start to follow up from the point of a call in. That's why we have this. This again is in another video, but I'm going to go ahead and cover it just a little bit here. We want to start covering, see you now, we want to start covering a follow-up if someone called about a membership, want information stuff. See you. Right. If they call, we want to follow up that, and then we also have this calendar again. Again, this is on one of the other videos, but we literally go through and we do follow-up calls on people who maybe came in and toured, people who toured maybe that didn't do a pass. We're going to call them back, see about getting them in on a pass. People who did a pass at the end of their pass, people who joined. We call them after they join, and we also do what we call a D30, which we call them 30 days after they join to make sure they're still liking the club. So it really starts from the point of contact, either through if they emailed us, if they called in, or they came in tour. So we start that immediately. Then we go in, this is the membership consultants mainly, then we go into what we call the team. The team meaning all the staff members. We have to work as a team. Normally you're going to have 1,500 to 2,500 members at all times, so you want to make sure that we're following up, and we can't have one person doing that. It'll never happen. So I'm going to go in here and show you a few things of how we do it. First of all, we have corporates. Now I did a deal on corporates, and it's here, but again, remember we do follow-ups on corporates. That's under the corporate video, but we start off, if we do a corporate contact, we're going to continue to follow up with the manager or the HR to make sure we can get that set in place. And then long after we get it set in place to make sure all the employees are doing well. And then we have down here the renewals. We actually do renewal calls. So when it's say a month out, if it's say for instance it's March, we're going to start calling the April renewals in March to see who all's planning on renewing. So we have a book, we call, we highlight when we get in contact with these people. We also send out a letter from our billing company or email. And then when we get down here, I'm going to go ahead and open this book up here. You see it's called Stepping Up the Service, Earning Your Business, 30-Day Inactive Members. Every one of us know different members here. Naturally, I'm 57 years old at the time of this video, so I'm going to know more people probably my age bracket as far as communicating with them. If you're 25 years old, you'll naturally be hanging out with people more that age. But we all want to get acquainted to everybody. And so if you see someone that normally comes out here and they're all of a sudden not coming, we have a list that we'll keep in this book. Now this is a script so that you're not going at it blindsided. You're going to have scripts so when you contact people, you have some things about things that you can talk about. But when you get in this this section here, we'll have a list of 30-day inactive. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like 30-day inactive. I like us to be able to keep in contact at all times, which I'll talk about in a second. But because at one time we were not able to keep up with the member list, we at least kept up with the people who weren't coming. Let's say you were gone for 35 days. Well, darn, there's something wrong. We need to make a communication with you and find out, are you sick? What can we do to motivate you to come back? So we'd have a list here. And the way it would work is, let's say I'm working the front desk, I don't have anything going. I may make 8 or 9 calls. I'll highlight when I contact these people or when I leave a message, and then the person who has time after me will start right where I left off. And we do that so we can get all these calls. Now, the second section of this book is what I want to get back to. And that's where we make contact with every member no later than 60 days. That's where we have a master list in here. We'll see, Ron. We have a master list of all the members. And the goal for us is to get through that list in 30 days, but no longer than 60 days. In other words, if I'm a member here, I know I got a call coming in within 30 to 60 days. And it may just be the fact you're calling and say, hey, how you doing, Cody? Just want to see how your workout's going, anything we can do to help you and so forth. Or it may be the fact that I haven't been coming, or it may be a promotion we got going. The whole thing is just letting them know we appreciate their business, and that's what that is. And again, it takes the team, because remember, we're trying to get through a list of a couple thousand people with a team of about 10 people. So if we're all making 6 or 7 calls a day, we can get through that thing in 30 to 45 days. Everybody made contact, and they see that we really do care about their results. It may be the fact that you are looking through their record of history, realize they haven't done a goal assessment. We call them and remind them about a goal assessment. Anything that motivates them is where we want to be above and beyond. So again, that's called stepping up the service. These are also all labeled so we don't put a book in the wrong place. If you work here long enough, you'll see I want everything in order. Now we got this right here called a fitness challenge. In one of the videos, I talk about the fitness challenge, and I talk about the service that makes us different from competition. But I don't know about you, but I have to have things to remind me. So if I have someone who's doing the fitness challenge, in the video on the fitness challenge, it talks about how they can do it on their own, or they can use me as a motivational coach during that time. If they decide to use me, we're going to go in here. It's going to talk about how this works. So the employee always has something like a cheat sheet to kind of help them remember. If someone doesn't work a certain area long enough, they need some of these sheets. But what it is basically is the client's name goes here, the phone number, the challenge. Now we currently just do a 30-day challenge. I used to do a 7 and 14. I may do that sometime later. But right now I'm just doing a 30-day challenge. So where it says member, non-member, we're going to write down what it is. It may be a non-member who wants to do my challenge. That's fine. We just put NM for new member, or we put for non-member, or we put M for member. We put the follow-up call dates, which means if I'm making follow-up calls, I'm going to try to call them at least 3 times in that month, if not more. But I'm going to document when I made contact. Sometimes it won't be a phone call. Sometimes they choose to have me text them or whatever. Whatever way they like it is how I'm going to follow up with them. But my whole goal is to get them through the first 4 to 5 weeks so they're motivated to continue. In that fitness challenge, I'm also teaching them things. Again, if you watch the fitness challenge video, it talks about detail, but that's how I keep up with that. And my goal is to have a lot of other trainers to help me with that. And we actually market it heavy because no one else is doing that. And then we come here. Now, everybody on staff knows I have a thing called a mailbox, and what that is when somebody comes in here and they're doing a pass, I like to put they have to sign in, and it says mailbox. Now, it used to be a mailbox, but actually now it's just a notebook. And when they come in, they sign in. In fact, let me show you where that's at. It's this book here. It's in the second section. And literally what it says is Legends Gym Week Pass Mailbox. What that means is this: when they come in, we tell them on the pass, they put their name, the date, they sign in the time, and these employee initial, what that means, let's say I'm on deck, I haven't met this person yet, I'm working the front desk, or I come to the front desk, I notice there's someone who just signed in. I'm going to look at their name, I'm going to pull them up over here on the computer. So let's say it's this fella here. I'm going to pull up John on this computer here. I'm going to look at his face. I'm going to scan the floor. I'm going to say, oh, there's John. I'm going to walk out there and introduce myself to him, see if there's anything I can do, and let him know I appreciate his business. Something very important. Most clubs don't do it. So again, that's called the mailbox, and that's another way we do a following up so we can meet everybody. Now, there's going to be people that are actually members here. I had somebody here a while back. I think it was a Friday afternoon, they were both working out, and one of them said, I didn't know you were a member here. And they were both been members for years. They just come different times. Like we have people that come sometimes at 4:30 in the morning, and they come every day at that time. If you're working out at 9 o'clock at night, you never know they're a member necessarily. So this is something that helps us. It's basically called Welcome to the Family. And the way it works, when we sign them up, we put their name here, we put the phone number here, the date they join, and then your goal as a staff member, we have 8 slots basically here. Is you to try to call them anywhere between week 1 and week 4 of their membership. Now the reason why we have the D30 on this calendar over here is we have, just being honest with you, we have people that slack and forget to do this. There's a disease in here that we sometimes get called, most time I forget disease. Oh, I forgot. I don't like that disease, so at least I have the consultants call in 30 days and make sure everything's going good. My goal, again, is to make sure we get back on this so that every person who comes in here opens this up daily and thinks, oh, I haven't met Sarah yet. Sarah comes at 8 o'clock at night, so I work the morning shift. Let me call Sarah and talk to her, or leave a voicemail, welcome her to the family, giving her my name, letting her know if I need anything. And that's what that is. So we should see these initials all the way across here for every new member. You think about it, if you're a new member somewhere, and you got 7 or 8 staff members calling and welcome you to the family, would you appreciate it? I think you would. So again, that's another part of our service. So another way of following up is this rate your trainer sheet. When we do a brand new member or a guest and it's their first time to train, we take them through a circuit. When we take them through the circuit, everything that you're educating them on at the end, you're going to let them go through here and they're going to rate you. The reason why we want to do that, we want to make sure you cover everything. That way when they come back on their second workout, they're going to be less likely to need as much help. Now you notice I said as much help. What amazes me as trainers, sometimes we'll take someone who came in here, toured the club, never has been in, we take them through one workout and we think they're going to remember everything. Not going to happen. But the best we do on the training session is going to be the less likely that we're going to have to help them as much for another couple of times. And so I say that because I've never had a trainer yet where I trained them once and they were ready to do the workout with somebody else yet. So remember that, keep that in consideration. We do the rate your trainer sheet, they rate us, and we make a follow-up call within 20, 40, 48 hours. You call, you check up on them, make sure they're feeling good, make sure they're coming back for the next workout, and then we have a 7-day follow-up call. By that point, when you make the 7-day follow-up call, they should have worked out twice on their own. You want to make sure, hey, how you doing, Chad? Your workout's going good. You need any help? Don't hesitate. Let me know. And that's how we do it. If we're selling these sessions like we normally do, right now we're currently giving away free. If we're selling, I don't pay commission because you sold the session. I pay commission because I saw you followed up on the session. So remember that, okay? This right here, purchase service follow-up. This is something that's required for people who sell services here if you're on the staff. If you're a contract trainer, a whole different thing. If you're on staff, I want us to put the client name, what they purchased, the purchase date, and then we're going to make a follow-up call to stay up with it. If they purchase an advanced written program, if they purchase power sessions, if they purchase roadmap, follow up with those people afterwards, and you'll be surprised when they're ready to do anything else, they're going to come straight to you. It's just a courtesy. If you've ever bought anything in your life, like maybe a car, and the salesperson called and thanked you for it, it's always appreciated when they do it. We want to do the same thing. It's not as big an investment when they purchase these from us, but it changes their lives, so we want to stay on that. Last thing, this is something we also do here. It's called Don't Give Up So Easily. What that is, when we pull a renewal out each year, we're going to have, like to say someone's expiring in January of 2023. When we pull those out, instead of getting rid of those, if they didn't renew, we're going to put them in this folder here. You're going to have 2 sections of this folder. It'll be scripted, showing you. I won't go completely in detail, but one of these, what we're pulling out is we're pulling people who expired the previous year in January. They may have went to another club, they may not be satisfied. We're going to call and welcome them back, okay? So it may be a year, they may realize, man, I don't know why I ever left Legends. So we don't want to give up. Even a year later, we want to call them. The second part of this folder is going to be when someone expired. Let's say they expired February of this year and they didn't renew. We want to call them the next month and invite them back. Don't let them go so fast, because we sometimes, oh, just let them go. It's a whole lot easier to get a member that's been with you. They know everything about you. They're part of the family. Well, why did you leave? Why did you not renew? What can we do better? So again, that's also a follow-up system we have for the consultants. Now, again, some of this is the team, some of this is membership consultants, some of it's trainers. You'll be learning what we all work as a team, and you'll be finding out what the trainers, consultants work on their own. But that's kind of what makes us different. We follow up and we stay committed, and that's why Legends has been here since 1995.